You fly over the Amazon and you see nothing but green. A flat, endless canopy that looks like it has always been empty. For 2 centuries, that is exactly what people assumed. Wild jungle, a few small tribes, no history worth digging for. Then a plane flew over the Upano Valley in Ecuador with a laser pointed straight down. When they stripped the trees out of the data, a city appeared, not a village. A city older than the Inca, older than ancient Rome's empire. And the reason nobody saw it isn't the one you'd guess. The tool that found it is called LiDAR. A plane carries a scanner that fires hundreds of thousands of laser pulses a second at the ground. Most of those pulses hit leaves and bounce back early, but a few slip through the tiny gaps in the canopy and reach the dirt. Measure how long each one takes to return, and you get the exact height of whatever it touched. Do that millions of times, and you can delete the entire forest from the picture. What's left is the bare earth, naked, the way it actually looks under the trees. Nature does not build in straight lines. Rivers bend, hills slope, roots sprawl in every direction. So when the laser map came back full of perfect rectangles and dead straight roads, the archaeologists knew, straight lines mean hands. Hands mean people. The survey covered about 300 square kilometers of the valley floor, and in that one stretch they counted more than 6,000 rectangular earthen platforms. Platforms that once held wooden houses, kitchens, storehouses, whole neighborhoods. Think about what that means for everywhere they didn't scan. The man who pieced it together is a French archaeologist named Stéphen Rostain. He had been working in the Upano Valley since the 1990s, digging by hand, finding mounds. For 30 years, he suspected something big was buried there, but he could only see 1 square at a time. The jungle is so thick you can stand on an ancient plaza and never know it. In 2024, he and his team published the LiDAR results in the journal Science, and the map showed his 30 years of dirt were a few rooms in something enormous. Start with the ground, flat and overgrown. Now add the platforms, thousands of raised earthen rectangles in tidy clusters. Now add the plazas, wide open squares sunk between the houses for gathering. Now add the roads, dead straight causeways cutting through it all, some 25 meters wide, and those roads run for kilometers, linking settlement to settlement in a deliberate grid. The people who built it are called the Upano, and their work began around 2,500 years ago. That is roughly the same century the Greeks were building the first democracy in Athens. They dug drainage canals to manage the rain and channeled water through their fields. They farmed maize, beans, sweet potato, and a root crop called manioc on the rich volcanic soil. This was not a band of hunters passing through. This was planning, engineering, and labor across many generations. The researchers think the city was lived in for around 1,000 years, a full civilization, rising and going about its days, while Europe barely knew the continent existed. Now here is the part that breaks the old story for good. Based on the density of the platforms, the team estimates tens of thousands of people lived here at once. Some estimates push the total across the whole valley toward the hundreds of thousands. That would make this valley as crowded as ancient Rome at its height, in a place every textbook called empty wilderness. And it is older than every other known city in the Amazon by roughly 1,000 years. So why did it vanish so completely that we needed lasers to find it? The answer is sitting right next to the ruins. A volcano named Sangai, one of the most active in the world, towers over the valley. The same eruptions that made the soil rich enough to feed a city are likely what ended it. Ash buried the platforms, the jungle grew over the ash, and 1,000 years of silence did the rest. The thing that gave them life and the thing that erased them were the same mountain. So fly over the Amazon again and look down at all that green. We used to call it empty because empty was the easy answer. Now we know one valley hid a city the size of a Roman capital, and we only checked one valley. How many more straight lines are waiting under the leaves? The honest answer is we have barely started looking.